Hello and welcome to our troubleshooting series, in which we will teach you everything related to the maintenance, proper operation, and replacement of parts in your LED display. You will not need specialized tools or a great technical background. Video processor. One of the most common signal problems occurs in the video processor. When this happens, it is common that the entire screen goes off or there is no image on display. How to solve this? Factory reset. Make sure to perform a factory reset on the processor to delete any previous settings that may be interfering with the configuration of our processor. Perform a factory reset by pressing the OK button on the front control panel. Navigate the screen by turning the scroll wheel until you find the factory reset option, then press the wheel to select it. Select Reset All by pressing the wheel once again, and then confirm Yes when prompted. Once completed the reset process, turn the unit off and back on. When doing this, the input source defaults to DVI. Be sure to press the button on the front panel corresponding to your video input source. DVI cable is not connected or connected incorrectly. In the case of using a Grecko video processor, make sure the connection between the DVI outputs and the sending card is correct. If the green light on the sending card flashes 4 times per second, you have a successful connection. Otherwise, check the connection ports or DVI cable. For Novistar video processors, this connection is not necessary. No video source or not selected correctly. Ensure you have a video source connected to the processor via one of your processor's available HDMI, SDI, VGA, or DVI inputs. Then, verify on the front panel that the light corresponding to your video source input button displays a solid color. A flashing light button means that there is no successful connection established. The Ethernet cable is not connected or malfunctioning. Make sure you have the Ethernet cables connected from the processor to your LED display, and that the LED display is on. It is always recommended to test with a replacement main cable or UDP tester to corroborate proper operation. If your display turns off an entire section, and you have more than one Ethernet cable, check the main cable by replacing it or testing with a UDP tester. The screen is zoomed in too much or has a very small image. Generally, this happens when our video processor needs to be better calibrated. To adjust the scale, just press the wheel on the front panel. Go to Window Settings and adjust the corresponding width and height values. You can also adjust the values by eye by adjusting the width and height of the image by looking that all the edges of the image match the edges of the LED screen. It is recommended to use a solid color image for this procedure. On Novistar processors, just press the scale button located on the processor's front panel. For Taurus systems, the scale adjustment is done through Viplex Express. We will show how to use Viplex later in this video series. The blackout button is pressed. Verify that the blackout button on the front panel of the processor is not pressed. This can block the signal path of your video source. Badly connected Ethernet cable or malfunction. The most common signal problems that occur within the LED display are broken or misconnected Ethercon cables. You should always take into account how the signal travels within your system. If the signal stops in one cabinet leaving the following ones black, it is most likely you have a poorly connected or broken signal cable. Internal Ethernet cable. If not, check the internal UDPs that travel from the Ethercon ports to the receiving cards. Shorted Ethercon port. If the Ethercon port is damaged, replace one of the signal connectors by removing the 2 screws that hold the connector to the chassis. Then disconnect the internal Ethernet cable and replace the part. Power supply and receiving card replacement. As a last resort, check if the power supply and receiving card are turned on. This can cause an interruption in the signal flow. If you notice that either is off, then replace the corresponding part. For more information, see the specific videos in the troubleshooting series. Check video number 2, receiving card replacement, and video number 3, power supply replacement, for more information on the power supply and receiving card replacement. Receiving card RCFGX. If your LED display shows an entire cabinet in black or with some kind of signal interference in it, it means that your receiving card file needs to be updated. To learn how to update your RCFGX file, watch our video series Initial Setup. Video number 4, Calibration. Broken module or dead pixel. You can notice this type of error when within the same LED panel, an internal quadrant is off with a different color, usually red, fuchsia, or yellow. Unfortunately, both of these options are usually due to a broken flat cable, or because the module in question is damaged. To replace an internal flat or power cable, disconnect it by following both ends and replace it with a new one. To remove the power cables, you will need a Phillips H4 screwdriver. If the problem persists, proceed to perform a module replacement. To learn how to perform the replacement, go to our troubleshooting series. Video number 1, LED module replacement. We hope you have found it useful. For more information, remember that you can continue watching our video series or go to our website www.GreckoLED.com and schedule a virtual appointment with one of our experts.